Christina Leto.
Oh, I like that.
I know, right? I just wanted to say it like that all morning. I was like practicing it.
I love it. I love it.
And, you know, let me just like to give a little background on it. One of the reasons why I wanted to have Christina come into the Facebook group and chat was because I have been looking for somebody that does reels for a very long time. And, you know, when Christina approached me and had such great recommendations from Heidi Dean and, you know, just different people she's worked with, I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's give it a shot. And instead of me going off into my little cave and working with Christina this way, I was like, I had an idea. Let's do it live. Let's jump on and talk live. So yeah. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask her a couple of questions just so we can have a little, you know, talking point. You can get to know her a little like I have. And then we will, we're going to assess my reel. And then in about 10 minutes, I have another actor coming in. We're going to assess her reel because one of the big things that that Christina does reel assessment. So hi, Christina.
Hi, DaJuan. Great to see you.
Yeah. How are you doing this afternoon for you, right?
You know, it's good, but I'm in New York and it's turned chilly, so I'm very jealous of you Californians.
No, I'm always cold. I'm always cold.
Are you really? Oh my gosh.
Freezing right now. I have socks on. And, you know, it's just one of those things. I'm a Florida boy. Okay. Yeah. I'm from Miami. So, you know, so as we can talk about these questions as we get in there. I just want to say everybody that's watching this, you know, if you have a question for Christina or I, please, just throw it in the comment section. I'll see it down here for, wait, I gotta turn this down over here. But I see the comments. Hey there, Charlie. What's up, Tammy? Laura's in here. Sean's in here. Wiley's in here. So we got some people in here that are big shout out. They're gonna be looking in it. So, you know, I guess the big thing is I can ask these throughout while we're looking at the reels. Yeah. You know, but I have some questions like, you know, what if actors don't have credits for their reel? Like, right. You know, should we start putting stuff together or out there and shoot it? But I think the best way probably to do this is let's start with my reel.
Okay.
All of a sudden I'm nervous, right? All of a sudden I'm nervous, right? We're gonna look at my reel, and then I just want you to assess it. Like, and I have no idea what she's gonna say, you all, you know, no idea. So you go ahead and share your screen, and I'll let you take it away. I'm not nervous.
Okay, DaJuan.
I'm not nervous. You're nervous.
All right. I just want to make sure that this screen sharing. So I'm going to share my screen.
I
put your reel up there and you'll let me know.
It's there.
To see it, right?
Yes, it is.
Did I make it okay?
No, I think the way you had it.
Yeah.
That's great. Mm-hmm.
All righty. Let me know that you can hear it too.
It's a medically induced coma. The sedation will keep her calm and allow her body to heal.
But she will wake up.
We will continue to monitor her and support her and do everything we can.
She was going to wear a blue dress for her wedding. She's not a traditionalist and she's not a kid. We waited forever to meet each other. It was just this one tradition, sleeping apart. We thought it would bring us good luck. I don't want to do life without you, now that I know what it's like with you. Wake up. And marry me.
So intense.
It is.
I've got 17 local stores left to contact about sales records. Anything new on guns? A couple of decent prints we missed the first time. Entry, door, faceplate, and latch bolt. Like, whoever broke in held his finger up against it after he picked it open. Security chain. Killer snagged the chain with fishing line, looped it up over the door, and slid the guard free.
Sounds like a two-man job.
Sounds like an assumption.
Educated guess.
When you do it, it's an educated guess, but when I do it, it's an assumption.
Smith Barney wants to take you public.
You're kidding. That's fantastic.
And it's not just your main business. They want your new venture too.
I'd love to say yes, but the new business isn't ready.
Nick, it's not often you get a top-rate investment bank knocking on the doors of a fledgling business.
But if we do that, we won't get the full price of our upside.
What if I told you they were willing to send over $500,000 in cash?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I'm Samantha Wheeler. All you have to do is send your books over to start the process, and we'll get down to making you and your partner rich.
Well, that's very generous. But as I was just saying to Harvey, we're already rich, and I don't feel comfortable giving away our upside.
Nick, don't let this briefcase get in the way of a great opportunity.
Look, I appreciate you both coming over, but we're in the middle of our build out. So please, for right now, I prefer to keep things like they are. Look, I was mad, I'm not gonna lie. But Kesh got back with me right away and we fixed
It's
things.
long now, right?
We're good.
That was
Mine?
going to be a note of mine, yes.
Hmm.
Just wanna say out there,
Yeah, we can discuss
Yes.
for sure.
Yes, okay.
You know that woman asked me what my African name was? It's like medieval times up in their house.
So you're saying you had nothing to do with Kesh getting killed?
Like I said, detectives, Kesh and me were all right. Plus, if I wanted to have him killed, I would have got the bloods, not some punk ass white dude. Look, Jimmy, it's my case too. I needed to do something besides research bezels and watch bands.
Fair enough.
So,
LT thinks it's a frame and Andrew Holland's behind it.
what do you think?
Well, maybe Bosch killed Gunn and designed this fucked up frame to throw shade on Holland.
No way.
You don't know Youngblood.
Why would Bosch do that?
He takes two assholes off the board with one move. He's hiding something. I can smell it.
So what do?
We start over.
From the beginning?
Hey, we're way ahead of the game. Some smart ass already have the scene reprinted.
Got some quality lifts too.
Oh, yeah.
Your doctors wanted to make sure we got our wedding under the stars.
Is the only light we see.
Do you, Garrett, take this woman to be your wife?
I do.
And do you, Natasha, take this man to be your husband? By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Don't. I know. Thank you. Thank you for marrying me.
DaJuan, I need a tissue.
Yeah, it'll do that to you. That clocked in at 5:14. I think we just saw.
Yeah.
You can keep it up, or you can stop sharing it, or you can, but we can refer back to it. However you want to do it. I want to let you know, so that we know what's going on with that.
Right? Oh my God. I mean, first of all, great work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Terrific. It's really terrific. So you should definitely be proud of your accomplishment, which I'm sure you are.
I am. And as I was thinking about that, I was watching. Thank you so very much. I haven't had a chance. And this is why this was so appealing to me. Also, I think one of the things we don't do as actors is maybe at some point we stop checking back in with our reel. Right? Because I haven't had a chance to really go back and assess it. It's just there now and it sits there. And so me watching this, even with you, I'm already having new ideas. So I'm excited to hear what your ideas are.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing also, in this industry, things are updating so quickly, what was right maybe for you a year ago, now it's completely changed, you know?
Yeah.
When I first started doing reels, the cool thing was to put montages and flashy titles and all of this. And now that is not the cool thing at all. If you're gonna do that, I would strongly suggest doing it like just a little bit at the end. But my point being that things change rapidly in this business, as you know. And now the sweet spot, you know, of a reel is about 2 to 3 minutes. But what I wanted to say to you is somebody with the network credits that you have, you know, you can get away with it being longer.
Yeah.
But in watching it, I did see places where it could be cut, you know, more internally. So it could be a little bit tighter, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? This is so interesting because this is why I work with an outside person sometimes. I want to be clear that I'm an active participant on my team, right? And I know kind of what I want, but I also respect an outside opinion because I'm thinking to myself, don't cut when that one tear falls down my eye. And Christina, you could be like, you had 17 tears.
We'll do a highlight reel of your tear cut. How's that?
Right, and that's what I need. I need a highlight. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm gonna let Jasmine in, but we can continue. We can continue our conversation.
Yeah.
I'll hold Jasmine off to the side for a second while we do that. But go ahead, Jasmine. Go ahead. She's gonna be popping in, but Jasmine, we'll get with you in just 1 second.
Cool. Yeah, I just was gonna say that I did notice, like, you know, it shows a great range of emotions. It shows different, hi, Jasmine. It shows, you know, the different characters you've played. And I get wanting to include all of that. And it's really great stuff, but we really, it's best to, you know, sometimes you've heard the phrase, throw the baby out with the bathwater, you know, and it is a famous term in writing too. You know, we want to include all of that, but the truth is, casting directors, agents, directors, they're gonna scroll. They're gonna click through your reel. And if they see automatically 5 minutes, you know, it could be, they're really gonna click scroll. So just for you, I just saw some places where it could be tightened. It could be edited a little bit more internally into the scenes.
Yeah. Was there any one of them like you're like, oh, this is repetitive there?
Not so much repetitive. I thought was there a second Bosch scene? Was that for Bosch, the second one, right? I just thought, I kind of felt, okay, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get what he's capable of. I get what he can do. Let's move on.
Yeah. I have to be honest. When I saw that second scene there in Bosch this time around, I thought the same thing. I feel like we got it. Right. We had two guys in suits who were, you know, in the power world. I was like, we got it. And so that seemed like go.
Exactly. And it is tough because I know we want to include everything, but working with an editor, they can be like, no, I'm going to, you know, we can't do that. Or there's no time. You want to get the best use of their time and show them, you know, and show them that way rather than, oh, but look, I can do this. I can do that. I can do that. But that's really my only real notes for yours, DaJuan, was definitely places to cut.
I would just ask also then, you know, everybody's asking also that we have clips on Actors Access, right? Yeah. And so I was, you know, that's also some place where those can live. Absolutely. Right. So it doesn't have to be all on my reel. Right. They can have different detective pieces, you know, that you've edited out is that about right?
Absolutely. You can label them, you know, hard-nosed detective always gets his way, you know? Yeah. And that might be something, you know, a minute-long clip where maybe we would get to include the tear. You know, because it would be like its own scene, its own scene. Whereas in a reel, you really want to get to it more, and we wouldn't want to necessarily include that just to include that. Yeah.
And lastly, you know, I bookended with Grey's Anatomy, right? And I think because there's such different emotions on both of them, and I didn't want to, even though to be completely honest, I think my last scene is a tearjerker, right? I was like, but I don't want people to start crying when they see my reel.
Right. I understand. And I'm all about the bookends. I love bookends. I love leaving on like a little button, a little,
Yep.
ooh, I want more. I want to see
Mhm.
more of that, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
But again, they've already seen in the beginning, they've seen that, look, you're at a certain level. They already
Mhm.
know that you wouldn't be there unless you had the goods to
Yes.
begin with.
That's good. That's a good note to remember. And I also think, so you're saying sweet spots for reels are about 2 to 3 minutes, right?
Yes.
And right,
Yes.
2 to 3 minutes. Okay. And we can also like just add the rest of that. If you're out there and you're like me at all, then you know that you can add them on Actors Access and have little pieces like that, you know?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you can have your tier.
You
can
want to
have
get that tier, DaJuan? I'm going to do a tier reel for you.
gonna do a tier reel for me. It's really interesting. I think be careful about what you put on your reel, because when people and you can speak to this, Christina, be careful about what you put on your reel, because that is also branding you, right? And
Yes.
you'd be so surprised or not surprised at how many auditions I get for the emotional guy, the guy who has to cry, and this husband breaks down, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I think that's a skill in it's on its own. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That maybe a lot of actors don't do, and so that I do it, casting directors are like, yes,
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
So,
All they have to do is look at, I need an actor who can cry on cue. And if you have in an Actors Access clip that shows, crying husband
yeah.
or crying over a dying wife or whatever, the minute they see that and that's what they're looking for, bam, you're in.
I'm in.
You're in.
Good. I love hearing that. Hey, Jasmine, how you doing? Let me mute you in. That was so great, Christina. That was so great. How you doing, Jasmine?
I'm doing good. Hope y'all are well.
We are. Thank you so much for joining us. This is my first time meeting you virtually.
Yeah.
So thank you for being a part of the tribe and for volunteering, raising your hand and volunteering. Was that scary?
Yeah, I kind of went back and forth I was just like, you know what, do it. It'll probably make my reel better. You guys are professionals, you got it together, so I need that too. So I'm like, you know what? It's no time like the present, so let's do it. That's how it was.
Well, I'm going to tell you that I don't bite, and Christina is so amazing. So she's going to share her screen in a second, and we're going to look at your reel that way. But I just want to acknowledge you. I see you and your setup back there, your self-tape. All right, self-tape that book.
Yeah, I got all the lights when I got to pull them out and then move the couch over.
Okay, sir, that's straight up. I didn't even plan that. I see you self-tapes. Okay. Where are you from? Where are you living right now?
I live in Montebello, so it's like 15 minutes, from downtown LA is what I tell people. Nobody knows what Montebello is.
I know what Montebello is. I think they have a drive-in now, right? They have a drive-in out there.
I know there's one in Paramount, and then I think the City of Industry is like the next closest one. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Christina, take it away.
Yes. I want to tell you, DaJuan, this is not my self-tape, just so you know, okay? Not myself. Okay. This is my, hey, I'm talking to you guys setup.
All right. Well, I know this is probably not hers, but I see the ring light over there with the extra
yeah.
Right. All that over there. And
she's got it going on. She's got it going on.
Got it going on there. So you share away and we'll
now let me ask you, am I sharing
yes. So we're gonna share the original one that I sent you. I talked to Jasmine on that. Okay. And so and we don't, there's also, so everybody who's out there understands what we're doing. Jasmine also has like a speed reel, a shorter version of that, but I have the original. I mean, I guess the longer one, and that's the one we're gonna look at right now. So go ahead and take a look at it.
All righty, let me just pull it up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good, Jasmine. It's all good.
Breathe. Right.
A hit, a suicide mission to whack out the one guy who could point the finger at Kaiser Soze. I mean, I know this is going to come off a little strange, but is there any way you can help me out with a few dollars? Why the hell not? Oh, nuts. I risked my life for this shit. Okay, so this homeless guy comes in with one freaking leg, and he has his bike, and he sits right next to me. Hey guys, I got some snacks for movie night, Pablo. What are you doing here?
Oh,
I
oh,
know.
oh, she turned on us.
It means no, the opposite of yes. Look, I don't lend my car to people who are gonna, do drugs. Where? But right now we're talking about personal issues and we kind of just butted in.
Are you thirsty?
No, whatever you think of them. Sorry, I didn't do it.
Oh.
Actually afraid of what he might do. I don't want him to leave me. You know what? You've been mean to me ever since I arrived at your house. I'm a grown woman. So you're not gonna speak to me like I'm a 4-year-old little kid. So what did you do? Well, I just reached over, I grabbed the back of his neck, and then I pushed his face in the piss puddle.
You did not.
Cause I'm dancing, girl, I'm getting my groove on. For real? Cloud, a born leader and the tribe protector. Rasmus, a former computer genius who has become a burden to the tribe. Money wasn't there.
I just wanted to stop it before I went to the next thing.
I can watch it over and over again. There's a lot of jump scares in there, as my kids say. If you stop sharing this, then we can all come back in. It'll bring us all back in.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I might want to refer to it and go back to it. So
we'll come back.
Oh, actually, I don't need to share it to do that. I can.
No, you don't. Yeah.
Ooh, I got it. Okay.
First of all, let's just start by saying, Jasmine, yay you for one, volunteering. Two, like, I'm sure Christina's going to cover this, but great actor, right? Like, really, I was not like at any point. So I'm kidding. You pick up your face. Come on, go ahead, Christina.
Well, I mean, it certainly shows range. It's really, yeah, it shows your range a lot. And yeah, and like that part where DaJuan said, "Ooh, she turned on us." Yeah, that was like completely surprising. I'm like, oh my God, she's like this funny, fun hit character, and now she's like a serial killer. I don't know. So just a couple of things I wanted to point out. I like how you get right into it. That's awesome. Start it off right away. However, I would say maybe just a beat, just to get people like kind of like ready, because when people start something, maybe they're getting their coffee or whatever, and you don't want them to turn away from you at all. You want them to be right there on you. So maybe just like a tad second fade in, and I kind of would like to see your name at the beginning, just so it's clear, just so we know, because it could end up somewhere where somebody sees it and they're like, oh my gosh, who is this? And then they have to scroll through and be like, oh, it's this lady, Jasmine, at the end. So I would suggest putting that in at the beginning. Let's see. So we're going to go through. Oh, another thing. So I'd like to see a little more interaction in scenes with other people. Okay. Just because right now it kind of looks a little bit more like a speed reel, even though it's longer than a speed reel. And I think the second one you sent was more of an updated speed reel. But for something like a reel, I think it would be great to have, like there's this character, I think it's the second scene with you and the boy.
You can help me out with a few dollars.
Help me out with a few dollars. Like if there's a little bit more of interaction with that, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a little bit, a little bit back and forth.
Hell not. Oh, nuts. I risked my life for this shit. He has his bike and he says,
same with, the next two after that, just a little bit more interaction. Okay. Would be great. And let's see, what else? So the one with you being the serial killer is like fierce. It's fierce. It's awesome. The only thing I would question, and this might be just me, but I noticed DaJuan's reaction too was like this. Just because, again, it may be just a personal thing, but I did notice like both of us were like, oh my God, I can't watch. I understand wanting to show that side of you, that part of you, but I'm wondering if there's something else you can show, because anything, you don't want them to turn away from your reel. You want their eyes on you the whole time. Again, it may be a personal thing. I may be a big fraidy cat, but I'm just wondering, I'm just curious, if I was working on your reel, I'd be like, oh, do you have something else that would show your fierceness and badassness? It's just a thought.
You know, I guess just to jump in there, also for me turning away, you know, I turned away because I just don't like horror, but that wasn't a turn away and not look at your reel. I'm not thinking about it that way. So that's a great point, Christina. You don't want anybody to turn away from your reel. I actually was just in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was like in it. I was like, ooh, you know,
Right.
y'all know how Black people watch, you know, the movie. You know, and so I was just in it that way, but I do see it. But like, if you're thinking, I'm not coming at it from a real perspective like that. I was watching it, so that makes sense. You don't want people to turn away from your reel, then you know. But I was also down in it, so.
Which is good, because yeah, you're down in it, then that's a true reaction, is like, oh my God, I can't watch this person being killed.
Right.
So yeah. Again, it's just a personal thing. It's just because I'm a big fraidy cat, but anyway.
Yeah. I love it.
As far as anything else, there was one part at the end. Oh, I'm wondering, you know, the part where you get kidnapped and then he does the acid, like it might be fun to string that together. But again, it goes back to if we're doing a speed reel or if we're doing like a full demo reel. These are just, you know, these are just thoughts I had while watching it. And then at the end,
for Cloud, a born leader and the tribe protect.
I know the voiceover, I might just start it a little later at a born leader, take out the word cloud. That's just like a small, like it just makes for more of a flow, I think.
A born leader and the
so it
tribe
comes in
protector.
A born leader, Jasmine Reed, you know.
A former computer genius who's become
Do you have any other questions I can answer, like to pinpoint more specifics?
Well, this is the first time me actually hearing the term speed reel. So I don't know if you could clarify for me exactly what that is.
Okay, so we were talking about a speed reel versus a regular demo reel. And a speed reel is more of like a 30-second to 1 minute reel that just shows snippets of you speaking and showing your range in different characters. So it's just kind of a, you know, bing, bang, boom, and then that's it. Whereas a demo reel is more interaction, back and forth, reaction shots in the scene with your scene partner.
Okay, I got it. That's very clear.
Yeah.
I guess my other question was based on what you all were watching too. And it feels weird to say this about myself, but I was like, I feel like some parts of my reel felt unnecessary when I have it, but then I was like, well, maybe it's better to have more. And I don't know if you guys covered that before I hopped on, but I don't know, in your opinion, for speaking of my reel, is less more, or is what I have there like okay length and range of characters and scenes?
Right. Yeah, I would just it's so funny. I'm scrolling through and I went right on the guy at the bag. With your fierceness, I love it. I would say to like I said, to have scenes. So if there were scenes of you as the killer, I would have a scene with that, with dialogue, you know.
Okay.
And some of these others, like with you with the woman, I'm like, oh, what are they talking about? What is she talking about? A scene with that, with you with the guy in the second scene.
I get it.
You know, just more of interaction, and it can still be short. It doesn't have to be, you know, a 4 or 5, 6 minute reel. It can definitely be short, but that way we get to see you interacting.
Okay.
So I have a big question too, because I have a thought on that as well, but I want to ask you, Christina, let's get real clear right now. What is the purpose of a reel?
The purpose of a reel is to show you act, interact, react.
Yeah, and that's big for me when I really understood that a reel doesn't have to be all of my work, right? Because I used to like I had to cut some stuff that I was really in love with, right? Like along the way. And I think and I'm including myself in this, Jasmine. I think we think that a reel is to show them how much we've worked.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not about how much we've worked. It's really so they can get a highlight of like, great, this person can act. Great. I can see them in different situations, different roles. That's it. So, you know, for me, as I was watching yours, and I don't have any room to talk because I got like a 17-minute reel.
Right. Well, 16 and a half, DaJuan.
Right, I got like a 16-and-a-half-minute reel, but I was saying some of those parts, Christina, let me know what you think, was it got a little bit repetitive because you were going back, and I'm booking mine a lot, but I think like on the third time, I saw you and the girl talking, and I was like, okay, do you know what I mean? So that might be a thought. What do you think about that, Christina?
Okay.
Yeah. As I mentioned to DaJuan, there are some parts where it's like, okay, we got it. We got it. We don't need that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
And or is there something else I can pull that's not showing that, just showing something a little bit different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is also to keep in mind.
How you feeling, Jasmine? How was this experience for you?
It's good so far. I was like I said, I was super nervous, but I'm happy that I did it, and I got some good feedback, and you all were so nice.
First of all, you know that I am not here to break down actors. That is not what I am about.
Always like,
yeah, no, I'm not one of those coaches. It's just not, I don't think it works. You know what I mean? I think you leave like with this pit in your stomach, and I'm not here for that. I'm here to build you up. And that's why I wanted Christina to come in, because her energy was about also building up actors. I'm not going to bring anybody in this group that is not on that level.
Right.
And I just want to say also the different looks and the different scenes you had were really great. So, you know, I thank you so much for jumping in. Christina, were you going to say something?
I was going to say, I wanted to go back really quick to the beginning, because another very important thing about reels is to start with your best foot forward, either your most recognizable credits or your most recent. So what is going to grab their attention? What is your best, most highest, you know, quality production of work that you want to grab their attention with?
Okay.
And this one here.
What are you looking at? Tell us what you're looking at.
I'm looking at the first scene where she is
It was a hit, a suicide mission to whack out the one guy who could point the finger at Kaiser Soze.
So if are you looking to get cast as the cop, the DA, the detective? Is that
yes, that's part of my branding. I get that a lot, especially since I've cut my hair. They see militant, they see cop, they see like the no nonsense, you know, stern character from me. Even like gym teacher, I get that. So it's in my wheelhouse. I know I can do it.
Well, that's great. Then you're doing well there. Yeah, starting off with that, I definitely am in alignment with that, with you as well with that. So awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to make that point, to start with your best foot forward, your most recognizable or most recent credits first.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Jasmine, for joining us. I appreciate it. I think it's admirable of you, you know, and you keep going out there and jumping in. Just jump into the fray. You know what I mean? It's I'll be in touch. I'll email you, okay? Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
See ya.
So, you know, one of the questions that I have coming in over here is that what about, and I guess we could have asked Jasmine this as well, what about footage that is created? Like, you know, if all of that isn't network credits or film, you know, what about credits like that? Can you put that still on your reel?
Oh yeah, you can. Now there are a few caveats to that. There are some companies that, I mean, they're like next level as far as production value goes. You want to work with those kind of companies. And also I would recommend not doing a scene that's been done on TV or film before. there are companies that also write scenes for you. And this is where it's important to know your brand going in, because I know some companies will write like 3 scenes and it's like, oh, if I play the angst-ridden mom, or the CEO who's trying to take down a company, like not just the CEO, the mom, but the CEO who's like the bad guy or whatever. They can write those scenes for you, and that way then you'll know that you'll be branded. You can work on your branding and show your best footage.
Put your foot forward there. Yeah.
I was trying to say that, DaJuan. Thank you.
I got you. We just did the Think Bigger Summit. And if you are watching this and you haven't had a chance to check out the Think Bigger Summit, go to thinkbiggersummit.com and you can get you an all access pass because it's passed. But I bring that up because we had Melissa Blue Ward in there, who is Rock Your Reels, who does these exact reels we're talking about. And they write them for you and shoot them for you, but they write new scenes, but knowing your brand. And if you don't know your brand, she tries to help you identify it, because it's no point in you going in there and trying to do a scene like me, right? If your brand is something totally different. So that's good to hear you say. I got a question over here from the Facebook group that Laura says that she's doing a series regular role on Zoom, like a Zoom show, like they're doing a Zoom show right now. And, she's wondering, should she add that stuff or should she not? Like, how do we add, in our new modern industry right now, where I did a couple of films over Zoom back in May and June. Do we add that footage, or what's your thought on that?
Well, there's a couple of things that would depend. First of all, the quality, the production, meaning the production value quality.
Yeah,
Zoom is usually pretty good,
right?
But you would just want to make sure that the quality is stellar, because it's also going to go against your other footage that you already have in your reel, and you don't want it to be taken out of, like, oh, this is really you don't want them to skip over that. Another thought is that, we are where we're at right now. I think people are being more, forgiving of the types of footage that's coming in. And if it's good quality, and of course, strong acting all around, which I'm sure it is, then absolutely can use it. And you could even use it on its own. You can use it as a clip in your Actors Access, or you can do a Zoom reel,
Yeah.
It all depends what you have on your reel already.
Yeah, and just remember that there are big real-time network commercials and things that are using Zoom, right?
Exactly.
We saw Apple did one, Sam Adams did one, and so this might be something, you're right, that's here. It might not, well, for the present foreseeable future right now, it's here. So, that's that, we don't want to lose that. And it might be something maybe you put towards the end of your reel. Would you or something like that? Or...
Yeah, again, it just depends what you already have. Like if it's your reel, DaJuan, and you already have, your series networks, and then you have a Zoom thing, then maybe at the end, or just do it on its own.
On Zoom by itself, right? Yeah.
But again, it depends. If you've got, say, student films, and you're looking to up your reel, I would say it could definitely go on that. It might even go before that. It just depends on the quality and the the production quality as well.
Great.
But definitely we can use that, because look, this is where we're at. This is what we have, and people get it now.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. I got another question from Wiley. Wiley says, I've seen a trend of labeling the scene on screen, like Grey's Anatomy on screen as the scene is playing. Since there are so many shows all over the place that sometimes you see the star but don't know the show, how do you feel about that?
Yes, that is a great question, because I know you didn't have credits, but
I'll tell you why.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
But they were also very recognizable credits. However, I found myself in the second, in the Bosch episode with the guy. Like, I didn't know that was from Bosch until he said Bosch, which isn't a big deal. However, you don't want the person looking at it being like, what movie is that? Do I know that other guy? What is that from? Oh, that's that guy, that movie. And then it completely takes you out because they're trying to figure out where it's from.
Yeah.
So there's two schools of thought of that. Like I do put in titles for the most part.
Yeah.
And I would recommend it. And if it's something that's not recognizable, you can always just put the name of it.
Right.
You know, that's fine.
Right.
If it is, if it was in a festival, maybe it got chosen for a festival, or it was a notable director, you can always put that, you know, underneath the credit as well.
Yeah. I guess I agree with that, by the way. If you see different iterations of my reel before this reel, right? This was a reel that I had done while I was doing my Emmy campaign, right? While we were doing the Emmy campaign. And so one of the ideas that I had, I was thinking about my up level, right? And so when you looked at different stars reels and stuff, they didn't have the credits there. And so I was purposely doing that to leave that off.
That makes sense, of course. That makes sense.
I was purposely leaving that off, but there are a couple credits on there that people like Prime Suspect. That's like a super old credit. Like where Maria Bello, that people would not know, where you're like, what, Maria Bello? But my goal there was, Maria Bello, I'm in the scene. That's all we need to know. And I wanted to show that because it's such a different character for me, right?
Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but I do understand that. And I think if we're saying I've been in this industry for 15 years, probably 13 and a half of that has had credits on my.
Okay.
Right. Do you know what I mean? I did it on purpose this last time.
Gotcha. And that's one thing I thought I didn't think to mention on Jasmine's reel, like asking her if there was an artistic reason why she wasn't using credits or what her thought. So hopefully she'll be listening, and I wanted to suggest adding credits, even if it's just, just the name of the project. It doesn't have to be a big explanation of, oh, it's something I did, whatever. Just.
I think that might be a fear of people too, right? If you don't have a lot of network credits, you have to go back and say it's from Rock Your Reel, or you have to do a scene and people are like, what? And
but so you can just name that. You can just name that one too.
Yeah, just name the scene, and you can name it anything you want, right?
You're not gonna know. If it's, if it's a film you did, or if it's a film, maybe it's an indie film that was on the festival circuit that never got any recognition,
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend credits, yes.
Cool. I love it.
Unless you're going for an Emmy, what did you call it? An Emmy,
Emmy campaign.
Campaign, yes.
Yes, unless you're doing an Emmy campaign. And of course, that was just very strategic. Again, I was just, I made that decision there. If anybody else has any more questions, this is the time to ask. We have some great stuff here going on. I know that we thought we might have a little bit of time to get to Tina's tape. Her last one, I don't know if we have a moment. I don't know how long hers was before we jump off.
I think it was a minute and a half.
If it's a minute and a half, we can definitely do it. But let me just ask this question while you're looking at that. Laura asks, thoughts on using more than one scene from the same thing in order to indicate series regular or recurring casting?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of thoughts on that. If you're using more than, if you're breaking up the scenes, then I would definitely make them more compact, more, shorter scenes.
Right.
But to show series regular, I mean, I'm in agreement with that. Just to make it a shorter scenes in between.
Yeah, I guess I would just throw my 2 cents in there about reels too, about that. Also, just remember and think that the majority of the reels are going to be accompanied by your resume, right? And your resume, your headshot are probably going to be that first one for them, even if they're scanning it, right? They're not just going to get an unsolicited reel, it'll still have something. And so that might have the series regular thing on there, but just by chance, if they do come by themselves, because I know they do, everybody's out there like, I know the reels come by themselves. I'm like, I wonder how you feel about this. I think it might be, just make sure you are showing different sides of that series regular, right? We don't need like the entire episode where you did something amazing. Like make sure it's different stuff that now they're playing the evil twin.
Absolutely. And to your credit, DaJuan, with yours, we did see different,
Yeah.
We did get to see different. So yeah, mix it up. Don't show the same to the same.
Yeah.
And keep it both shorter.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's see Tina's. If you have, we're gonna share that. And I know we're going a little bit long, you all, but that's okay. We're good. We're here for it. And, you know, let's see Tina's real quick, and you can share your screen, and then we'll go. If anybody has any other questions while we're setting this next piece up, please throw them in the comment section. I can see them. You know, I want to thank Christina Latour from Latour Productions, you know, for coming into the Facebook group and doing this with us live. We're going to take it away from Christina. I know she has some questions too about it that I'll throw your way, but go ahead.
Okay.
So, what are you guys celebrating? Life, girl. Life. All right, cheers. I complimented you for being a top biochemist. You deflected and said relegating yourself as a member of a team. I'm not building a team here, Miss White. I'm hiring individual geniuses. You came here every day. I asked you how work was. It's like sick, Mark. It's like really sick.
I just didn't want you to think I was a loser.
Well, now I think you're a compulsive liar.
Please, don't.
Tell me this is a joke. We can't just leave. I can't do that.
Lúc thì họ nói tôi làm bị hư rồi, họ nói cần thêm tiền mua thực phẩm. Họ chắc nghĩ tao hái ra tiền một nửa. Ủa? Cái áo đó mới hả? Đùa hả? Tao còn phải làm việc nữa.
And then, out of nowhere, it happened.
I have to just say, so I just love actors. We are so, you know.
Right? Oh yeah, absolutely.
We are so amazing, just amazing. Hey Tina, I know you're in the Tina, I know you're in the Facebook group you're watching right now. Tina, I just sent you an email if you want to pop into the Zoom as well and ask any of your questions live. But I'll ask that question right now. Specifically, Christina, she wants to know, her question is regarding the third clip, and I think that was the one when she was profile.
Yeah.
Right? Whose profile she says is whether or not to use the raw continuous footage that's focused on her, or use the filmmaker's edit footage that's finished and higher quality.
Right.
And it might be hard to do that because we don't know the other footage, what that looks like, right?
We don't. And really, you know, there's so much that goes into making it the good quality. You know, there's sound, there's color correcting. So if you're comfortable doing that, or if the editor is comfortable, if you tell an editor, or if you say, hey, I've got this raw footage, you know, can you, I need it to focus more on me. Can you make it look, you know, color corrected and sound? Because you don't want it to be against other footage and then, you know, the color is like all off and whatever, or the sound, you can't hear it. So I would say if there is footage of her with more of that, then yeah, then you can use, I've done it before, you know, you just got to make it look like a, you know, like it's a finished piece.
Wait, does that one not look like a finished piece? Is that where you like?
If she wanted to use more from that, right. And if she only has raw footage.
Really?
We'll ask her, she's coming in right now.
Okay. And
this is so fun. I hope we didn't get shut down again. Let me know if you're watching this and you get shut down because of any of the music or anything like that. In the first one, somebody send me some thumbs up and let me know. Hi Tina, how you doing?
Hi, Tina.
Oh, hi.
She only has raw footage.
I was watching the Zoom at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I love it. And I just want to say, I don't want you to feel left out. Shout out to you. I see your backdrop of your self-tape. Yeah,
Thank
I
you
see.
so much.
I see you got your setup. This is Christina and I. This is our Zoom setup. This is our
Yeah,
Zoom.
just the Zoom.
This is our Zoom setup. So ask your question so that we make sure we got it right with that assessment.
Yeah, I think I heard most of it. I have like a newer edit, and it's mostly on the other actor, but the quality is very good, and obviously the color correction is great, but it doesn't show like all of the transitions and emotions that clip has that you guys just saw.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what I was wondering.
Well, we definitely want to see. Yeah, we want to see that. I would say to stay on the emotions on you for sure. We don't even. I don't think for this one we don't even really need to see the other actor. You know, we hear him, we see you, and I think for that's fine. You know, just because the other actor has better quality, I wouldn't. No, this is your real.
Okay, cool.
You know what I might do though, if I can just jump in there to say, there's a couple things about my Grey's Anatomy scene. If you see it at the end of my reel, an amazing editor, what they can do is make it feel like there aren't any cuts, right? They make it feel like it's so seamless that it might be worth it to have someone like, you know, Christina or who's doing a reel to look at that footage, and it could be sliced so wonderfully that it just is on you. Because that other scene, somebody leaves the room during that scene when people are crying. The Reverend says a whole thing, you know, but we just cut it so that it's only on me, right? And it's only about my emotion. So it might be worth it. What do you think, Christina? Just to let you see that raw footage so you can maybe because our idea of it is totally different. We're thinking about it from an actor's standpoint, not in our business hat. Then when we give it to somebody else, they'll be like, ooh, I can highlight this and move this around in a different way.
Also, though, I was just concerned about mixing raw footage with finished footage. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, I tried to do that on my own, and I was like, this looks ridiculous.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, so that was really my thought process, was more of the mixing.
Right.
So I think it should either be both raw footage or both finished footage, and then of course I can go in and cut and seamlessly and make it, you know, take out the extraneous stuff. But yeah, I just am concerned about mixing the two types of footage is all.
Yeah. What if I may ask Tina, what language were you speaking at the end in the laundromat?
Yeah, it's Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. I want to tell you that Christina, like when that part came on, my heart leapt. It just was like, it was
wonderful.
It was so wonderful.
Absolutely.
Right? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You definitely, I definitely was going to comment on that. It's like, awesome. Look how versatile she is. Oh my God. I can hire somebody now and she speaks Vietnamese. Yeah, it's definitely great that you had that in there. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions on that, Tina, while you're here?
No, but you've gave me like a lot of ideas about what else to put on there. I have something. I heard you have some crying stuff on your reel. I'm definitely gonna put that in now.
He does.
I do. And anybody wants to see my reel, go ahead, Christina.
Tina, I was gonna suggest something too. The scene of where you're in the car. I mean, just to be, I don't think it's a good amount. The reel is a good enough amount of time, but just to even get to it quicker, I think we can cut to right when you're already out of the car. I don't think we need to see you get out of the car. So when you tell me this is a joke, I feel like I could start there. It's just a minor thing, but the car doesn't really show anything, you know, different. I think if we went from your scene with the guy that's on you, straight to tell me this is a joke. Just a thought to kind of, you know, because
I agree.
You know, coming out of the car.
There's the little things that we think about as actors. We're like, no, you don't understand, Christina. The car door shows my intention. Whatever, Christina. Like when I was getting out of the car, I gave a look, right, Tina?
I'll make a reel of your looks getting out of the car. Okay.
Listen, I'm saying that, and I'm being a little bit, I'm being facetious about it all, but I'm saying that because I think we got to be clear on our reel is not to show more footage. This isn't just you, Tina. We're talking about DaJuan too, but like the reel is not to show that you have done more stuff or to even show the whole arc of the storyline, on it there. That's not what I've come to understand. It's really to show what you're saying. Let's highlight that you can do these different things and that you can act and that you look great on camera, and let's keep it moving.
Absolutely. I love that. Keep it moving. It's true. It's
That's
true.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tina. You got anything else for her before she pops out? Because we're going to land this plane soon.
Oh, no. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on here. And
no, thank you for volunteering. Thank you for volunteering and, for coming back. And I'm always so grateful for my tribe because you all are like, yeah, I want to throw my hat in there. So, cool. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much for doing that.
Sure.
And just spending your afternoon with us.
I loved it. I could talk about reels all day. I love it.
I love it. I love it too. I gotta say, and anyone that is, has questions about your reel, or you want to start 2021 outright, I think this is a great way to start it. So thank you one more time. That website is Latour.
Oh, Latour de Force. Latour
Force.
de Force. See, gotta get the force in there.
I gotta get the force.
You gotta say Latour like you say it also. Like
cool.
There you go.
Thank you so very, very much for coming into the drive.